But they did get to the finals against LeBron and the Heat and company. And guess what? We decided at First Take, we're going to the finals. We're going to take the show on the road for the first big time. No live crowd. We weren't there yet, but we're going to go to Oklahoma City. Those were the days when I actually used Twitter as a tool to help me prep for the show, as in what would work the best on the show. What was the hottest topic? What were the people talking about who followed me? Well, the only way to know is to read their ats, their mentions, their responses. So I poured over them day and night. And guess what I started to see as we rolled toward those finals? Death threats from Thunder fans in my hometown of Oklahoma City. Real, live, hardcore death threats. I thought legitimate death threats, but I passed them along to ESPN security, who came back to me, yep, legit. Need to be taken seriously. So as we are about to venture to Oklahoma City, my hometown, they had to hire me a bodyguard who wound up being an LA cop whose primary duty was to serve and protect the chief of police when he went out in public. And this guy I loved. He was a good guy and a bad you-know-what. And he protected and served me in Oklahoma City almost to a fault. But I'll admit it, I was a little creeped out. I was a little anxious, nervous. I am going to my hometown, back to my hometown where I grew up in Oklahoma City. Hail the conquering hero. And they want to kill me. I got messages like, if you dare set foot back in this town, it'll be the last step you take. My bodyguard went everywhere with me. Even I went to see my then 85-year-old mother, her favorite place, North Oklahoma City, P.F. Chang's. Table right near us, my bodyguard. Who's he? Asked my mom. It's just a buddy of mine, no big deal. Not going to scare her with this. I spent most of my time there, holed up in my hotel room in downtown Oklahoma City. It's not a whole lot of downtown there, but downtown at the Renaissance on like the 30th floor. Before the first home game that the Thunder won in dominant fashion, I did a stand-up with my partner, Stephen A. Smith, for one of the sports centers, live, right along the baseline. And as I'm debating with Stephen A., I glanced sideways, and guess who's about 10 feet away, smirking at me and sizing me up? It's Russ, just sizing me up, kind of smirking and laughing at me. So you're the guy who criticized me, who dares to criticize me? Ha! And you're in my house? Ha! Didn't do anything more, but he was just sending the message, you ain't bleep. Okay, I got it. So before game one and game two, I don't like to sit out in the crowd because it's just too crazy and people want to say, hey, did you see that? And I got to react. And I just want to lock in on the basketball game and soak it in with my eyes and ultimately my soul. So I go back to my room and just watch it on TV the way you're watching it. But to get back to my room, my bodyguard had to run interference for me to get up to the main floor concourse through the crowd and out the door. So I'm kind of swimming upstream through the crowd, and I am taking abuse like you wouldn't believe. F you. Get the hell out of here. Skip, go home. I am home. All about Russell Westbrook. And you know what happened in that finals. After game one, LeBron was very good in game two. Got away with a foul on Kevin Durant late, but then made one big free throw, which he rarely does, and they were off to the races. They won 2, 3, 4, 5. He got a lot of help from his friends in Miami from the various Shane Battiers in game 2, Oklahoma City, and then all the way up to, excuse me, Mike Miller in the closeout game, Mario Chalmers. The point was, along that trail, Westbrook turned into my nickname for him, which I coined early on, West Brick. Wild turnovers, wild missed shots. Pretty hopeless in the end. I said, there it is. That's who he is, and that's basically who he became. So in the end, Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City. I have this on the highest and best sources. He left because he decided he couldn't win a championship with Russell Westbrook as his primary decision maker. Russ brought the ball up court. Russ decided, my turn or your turn. A lot of times it was Russ's turn. Too often, Kevin wound up standing over on the wing. Is it my turn? Couldn't take it anymore. Joined forces with Golden State, and the rest is history. Back-to-back NBA Finals MVPs for the best player on the planet. So I think I was pretty right about that. And yet, we came full circle, did Russ and I, all the way out here to LA. And here he came, and Russ's dream come true to return home to play point guard for the Lakers he grew up living and dying for became his worst nightmare, because he got exposed for exactly what he is. Nothing but a great sideshow, a solo act, a stat machine, far more interested in statting than winning. He's averaged triple doubles for the last 5 years. That is impossibly, inhumanly great as an individual feat. But it has little to do, if not nothing to do, with winning basketball games. And now Russell Westbrook is the reason that the preseason betting favorite in the NBA, LeBron's Lakers, are now a 500 team. The reason, the biggest reason, is Westbrook. And on an almost daily basis, it seems, on Undisputed, we put together a blooper reel of either Russ's unconscionably, inexplicably awful turnovers or his all-time wild missed shots. Shots intended off the glass that hit the tip top of the backboard and become virtual air balls because they don't touch iron. Those kind of shots. Head scratchers. And every time I'm watching the blooper reel, I sit back and I think, once upon a time, 10 years ago, I had to return to my hometown with a bodyguard because those Thunder fans, my people, loved Russell Westbrook so much. Mind-blowing. I hope you enjoyed that video. You ready for more? Make sure you click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from the Skip Bayless Show. And don't forget to check out the full episode of the show wherever you get your podcasts by clicking the link in the description.